Hello everybody, welcome to the Two Budget Gamers channel. I'm Antoineke, and this is the third and for the moment final episode of Live Experiences, a short series where I talk about myself and my history. And in this episode I'm going to talk about my experiences that happened in college. Let's get started. Okay, so my first year in college, I actually enrolled in a college that was very near my high school, which was very cool, very useful. It was also very close to my house, so I didn't have to travel a lot, and I wanted to become an engineer. I always thought it was really cool, and that's what I went for. The problem was that in my first year, I was still studying like it was high school, and that pretty much meant not studying. I studied very little to not at all. I wasn't paying attention in class, and it showed. I failed royally. You could fail bad, and then you can fail really bad. And I failed really bad. I managed to pass out of my 12 courses the magical number of 2, which, as you know, is not very good at all. But just the way it is. And there were actually still 2 sort of semi-bright spots, and those were chemistry on one end and then ICT on the other one, programming, etc. Which, if you know what I'm studying today, you would know which one I should have chosen, and I didn't. So I had to make it big because I was pretty good at the programming part, even though I failed the exam finally because we had to program on paper and I wasn't really prepared to that. I thought I could, but then it turned out that I didn't, so that was kind of a fail. But anyways, I decided to become or study chemistry in Ghent, which was quite a ways further than I had to travel at any time beforehand in my school career. So it was a new experience for me, and the first year of chemistry went really well. I will not lie. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was new and everything. It was really cool. And I chose chemistry because I was good at the laboratories we had to do in the industrial engineering. I had like 15 and 20 on that one, so that was pretty good. Chemistry is also something, in my opinion, that is very interesting outside of me being good at it. It always spoke to me. But things changed in the second year. So before I go into that, actually, I actually still had the same problems I had in my industrial engineering classes. I really wasn't paying attention, and in the first semester it wasn't all that bad. I actually managed to pass 5 out of 6 courses then, but then the second semester I kind of goofballed it, and you gotta remember, I was in class playing Pokemon on my cell phone like all afternoon. I was not paying attention at all, well, unless we had to, of course. But I wasn't really doing that. And then when the second semester exams came, I failed royally again. I had 9 and I failed 4 of 9, and they weren't all that hard compared. So in the end I decided to study again. I had 5 double exams in the holidays, and I had to work in that same month, which was kind of a pain in the ass. I actually managed to pass 3 out of those 5, so I had 2 failed exams, but one I was able to how would I say that, it was a way where you could, if you had an 8 and 20 or better, you could say, oh well, I passed this, but you had a limited amount of points to do that. So I did that with that course, and then the other one I redid because I had 5 and 20 again. And then the second year I automatically noticed that that course was actually not that hard had I just paid attention in class, which was something that I definitely did in the second year way better. But also in the second year was the time where I lost my interest in it royally, because the problem is I wouldn't say I didn't think about it, but I maybe didn't think enough about the direction I wanted to study, because it's at that point that I realized I might be in the wrong place. The problem was that I like chemistry, I really do, and I like the theoreticals behind it. I love, the typical like high school chemistry. I love that. That is so cool. It's so new as well, and I adored it. I even know like half of the periodic table by heart, because I just was so into it in high school. But then when we had to do analytics, and that was the main focal point of our actual study, which was being able to analytically analyze, or be able to analyze quantitatively substances using several techniques. And people who actually know me know one thing about me, and that is I am extremely clumsy, extremely unconfident, and it didn't help at all there. It was I was not being good. I was slow as hell for my class, and I didn't do the best job in the world, and it all became a bit too much, and I lost my interest in it. And when I lose my interest in it, when anybody loses their interest in something, it just really hurts them. And I came home the first week, I remember that very well, and I was crying, and my mom was alone with me. My dad was out of town, and at that point I literally thought about quitting, because I literally did not feel like it interested me anymore, and there were other issues going on as well with school. A backstab by a teacher that really still haunts me a bit. I mean, I'm not going to do much detail on that one. Let me just say I was forcibly paired up. While everybody had the free choice, I was forcefully, behind my back, I was paired up with some of the most annoying people in my class, and I really didn't like that. And that's pretty much was also a reason why I didn't feel that amazing. It all added up, and in the end I decided to drop 3 of my classes, including that class where I was selected to be in a group with people I really didn't like, even though it's work, it's life, but the fact it was done behind my back was what really hurt me. But along with 2 other classes. So, and then I actually finished that semester, and then the third year came around, and it was even worse. Guess what happened then? I came home, I felt miserable again. I was scared and afraid, and I decided to drop my labs that year. My analytics labs, because it was 2 times a week, it was full days. It was kind of tough, considering I never actually had done that before. So we dropped that, and then I actually managed to make it through. I had a relative year of peace and quiet, since I only had a few things to do in school. Pretty much all of my courses I made it through. I had in the second semester of that third year, I actually had 3 courses, which for one I didn't even have to come to school, and on 2 others I had like 1 hour a week. So I was home like 99% of the time, and then pretty much a lighter version of that happened in the 4th year, my final year. In the first semester I had my 2 labs and 1 course I still didn't pass, so that was 2.5 days of the school week I was home. So I mean, that was chill, and I actually managed to pass, even though that lab I felt really daunted by it and afraid, and I really didn't like to do it. I had to, and I just fought through it. And then my internship, the last semester of my internship came along, and oh dear, it was rough. I had to work in a firm. It was somewhere farther than Ghent. I used a car to get there, which already was a bit of a hassle. And I was sent there to do a validation of a certain object. I'm not allowed to discuss this, actually, what I did there specifically, but you gotta remember that there was a device that they bought, and I had to validate it, see that it worked properly for what they were trying to do. And it was just a whole lot of a lot of messes all together. A lot of things didn't work out. We had 2 technical failings, me fucking up once or twice as well, and in the end the results that we got were inconclusive, and it was really annoying for me simply because of the fact that it was strenuous. It was complete. I mean, I had to work my ass off. There was a lot of times where technically I had a 39-hour week, and a lot of the times I worked 43 to 44 hours a week. A lot of the times because I had to do a certain chemical process, and if it didn't finish, it didn't finish. Usually they know exactly how long it's going to take, but I had to work with the variables to see what impact they had. So we had like no idea. It was pure guesswork of how long something was going to last, and because of that, it took sometimes. I usually was done at 4:50 p.m. in the afternoon, and a lot of times I left 5:45, 6 p.m. Together with the last people from who worked that day, and I had to leave then. It was a mess, and the fact that my results were inconclusive didn't help. I really don't think fondly about that period very much. It was not really something I liked particularly well. It was the final stepping stone to me to say, like, I got to do something else here. This period, these 4 months that I had to work there, could have pushed me to stay in chemistry because it wasn't all that bad, and it wasn't like certain things were in school. But turns out that they are, and it just didn't work out. It didn't work out at all. That was kind of a pain. So that's sad. But then again, I mean, what can you do about it, right? What can you do about it? And so yeah, that's the time I decided, well, I gotta do something else with my life, and now I am doing the other thing I enjoyed, and I like it a lot again as well. We're gonna see what second year gives. I hope that I keep my interest, and I think I will, because I love it already now a lot more than I did my other courses in chemistry. So that's very positive. So I think that's pretty much, you know, the most important things you want to know, or would be interested in knowing. I tried to make these videos not too long. I might discuss some things deeper detail later, but I'm not entirely sure about that. So that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, you can give it a thumbs up. It would be appreciated. You can subscribe to the channel, stay notified of our new videos. Yeah, also we just made a Facebook page as well, where you're gonna be I'm gonna put all our uploads, or our new uploads, on that Facebook page, and you will find it in the outro in the bottom of the page, and it's just gonna be whenever I'm gonna upload something, or whenever I'm unable to upload something, or we are unable to do stuff or do something special. We're gonna put that on our Facebook page as well, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye bye, guys.